Happy Feast Day, Church. The Epiphany is a major feast in which we celebrate the glorious truth that God came in Jesus Christ to be a light to all people. Those wise ones presented gifts to the infant Jesus, and they experienced something that changed everything. Not only, of course, which road they took home, but also about how we as Christians understand our call to share the light and grace of Jesus Christ. They offered gifts, and they were changed. Epiphany isn't primarily about gold, frankincense, and myrrh, as it is about God's gift of love in all of its manifestations. Love came to us in the tender and vulnerable fullness of a baby, and love comes again and again to us. It's God's nature to give us God's self in Jesus Christ. Today, as we consider the experience of the Magi being changed through their gifts, and as we ponder all the ways in which God's love comes to us, I want to share a way that in this season we can focus our gifts and our love. In the Diocese of Maine, we have the chance to be part of a transformative gift. In order to share more about this, let me start with a story. Archdeacon Imad Zurab leads two congregations, one Arabic-speaking and one English-speaking, at All Saints Church in the city of Beirut. It's the only Episcopal church in all of Lebanon. Father Zurab also runs one of the only schools for special needs children in the whole country. It's called St. Luke's Rehabilitation Center. As you may remember, in August of 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, there was an explosion, one of the largest non-nuclear explosions in history in Beirut. Left hundreds dead, thousands injured, and hundreds of thousands homeless. To a country already in turmoil, this was a devastating blow. And Father Zurab's church was just a mile away from the blast site. The situation in Beirut is desperate, and we have the opportunity to focus our gifts and our love in this moment. Father Zurab and his wife Hind have two sons, Ralph and Mark. And we in the Diocese of Maine have now the chance to welcome them to Maine. Today, I'm excited to announce a collaboration together with Lincoln Academy in Newcastle, our own diocesan chapter of Episcopal Peace Fellowship, the clergy and people of St. Andrew's Church in Newcastle, and all of us throughout the whole Diocese of Maine. We can work together to sponsor Ralph and Mark, these two high school-aged young men, to leave the devastation and danger of Lebanon and to be part of our community of faith, to study and board at Lincoln Academy, and to be given a chance for hope at a time when hope is really hard to come by in their homeland. In the Diocese of Maine, we have long stood on the principle that we welcome everybody. And going all the way back to our first bishop, Bishop Burgess, we have continually emphasized the truth that when we are connected to people in other countries, whether it's in Haiti or now in Lebanon, we move one step closer to singing today's song, "Arise, Shine, for your light has come." Those of you who are clergy and lay leaders, you know the importance of leading your faith community to think outside and to think beyond, to join your neighbors in concrete actions that make a difference. After months of focus on this pandemic, we can turn our attention to a family, one very much like many of our families. Imagine being in the Zurab shoes, living in a damaged city, figuring out how to pastor a church, run a school, and figuring out how to buy food in the face of immeasurable inflation. We can take our gifts and our love and change the direction for two people. For Ralph and Mark to study and board at Lincoln Academy, even with a generous scholarship from the school, we will contribute $100,000, one academic year for Ralph and two for Mark. Already we have commitments of $28,000. Every single one of our congregations and our summer chapels will be invited to participate. So will individual parishioners. Many of you in your churches will make a pledge over the course of 2 or 3 years. Others of you will join me in connecting us to the Lebanese American community throughout Maine, the Roman Catholic Diocese of Portland, and those living stones, the Christians who remain in the Holy Land against all odds. You will hear more about this collaboration in the coming months. For now, visit LebanonToLincoln.org, and in whatever way is possible for you, please remember in your prayers Father Zurab, his wife Hind, and Ralph and Mark. The way I see it, Ralph and Mark are given a chance to learn, and we have a chance to focus our gifts and our love and to be changed. There's a passage from the Talmud that resonates. Humanity was created to teach that when one saves a single life, it is considered as if they had saved an entire world. Put more colloquially, we often cannot help everyone, especially in situations that seem completely overwhelming. But in this case, we can help two, which in turn will change their world. A happy and glorious Epiphany to you. May God bless us.